So, in module 2, we're talking about hope. Hope springs eternal. I don't know why I'm smiling, but hope is one of those weird things that either you have it or you don't, and it comes and it goes, and it's elusive, and grasping at it doesn't make it better. And I just think that it's really it's an attitude that you kind of have to have on purpose, right? There's If you look at all the negative things in the world and you only talk about negative things in the world, then you're only going to see negative things in the world and you're not going to have hope. And so the way I look at it, that you've got to keep that glimmer alive, that things are going to get better. This too shall pass. We hear these kind of rote sayings, but they are meaningful. Um, just to know that things can get better, and you have to believe that. And nobody can give you that belief. But one of the things that really helps, I think, is gratitude. And just don't walk around only seeing the negative things. Take stock and be grateful for the positive things in life, and helping our students do that, I think, would be very, very good thing. And again, sometimes I feel like this positive psychology stuff is a little it is not as deep maybe as other things, but literally that practice of writing 3 things down that you're grateful for every day can change your life, you know, and it can give you hope that, if I read old journals, I sometimes get depressed because things haven't changed that much. But you can see that, oh, I was worried about this and then it got better. And then, oh, I was worried about this and then that got better. And I was worried about this. And well, that happened, but I got over it. I had resilience. So I think the one thing that Ted Lasso, the show, and Ted, the character, can bring us is this idea about believing in a better future and believing that the good thing can happen, because it eventually did for them, but it was a hard road. It wasn't easy. Even when everything looks hopeless, Ted believed. And I love that sign, and it's got the tacky little tape on it, but um, I I considered calling this module Believe, but believe is really the thing we do that leads to hope, right? It's an Hope is the outcome. Believe is the activity. And how do you keep that belief? It really is an internal struggle. And there have been some things lately, even regarding the creation of this course, where I had that resistance I was talking about in module 1, that fear. I think resistance is just fear. Sometimes we're afraid something's going to work. Sometimes we're afraid something's not going to work. But either way, we're the obstacle between us and whatever we're hoping for. We just have to believe that something's possible. We have to actually want to receive it, and all the things that come with it. And I think that's the thing with students. Now, am I going to help a student who maybe is not a very good basketball player? Am I going to tell them they're going to go play in the NBA? Probably not. Somebody that shows some talent and is willing to work hard and wants to play in the NBA, I can get behind that. Um, so I'm not saying believe in the hopeless when it really is hopeless necessarily. I'm just saying, if you can see that a student has purpose and you can help them and you can see the potential of them reaching this thing or being involved in it somehow, somebody can love sports and maybe not end up being a player, but they can be involved in the sports that they love somehow. Um, and so we can believe that that's going to happen, and we can help them believe. And And so this really is we're saying that attitude plays a huge part. And I'm not over here saying I have some great attitude because I don't. but but I know enough to know that even when I have that what I call right vision where I feel like I'm headed in the right direction and that's giving me energy and it's making me feel lighter and I really want to do this thing um like I'm in this PhD program right now and I really like it and I really want to keep doing it, but I don't have a lot of money and I don't know that I can afford to do it. Um, but, and so I have to keep believing and, and that gives me hope that it is possible. And I will keep you posted, but we'll see, right? But if, and I guess what I'm trying to say is that if I didn't believe and I didn't have hope, it would definitely not be possible, right? You say impossible, but all I hear is I'm possible. Ted says. But one of those powerful moments in the show when these guys that had thought he was kind of a goofball when he put that sign up actually buy into it and decide to believe. And yeah, very powerful. This show makes me cry a lot. Transformation, when everyone invests in the cause, miracles are possible. And just to have you think about the fact that Ted didn't necessarily fit into this group when he came in, but he was able to use those unorthodox methods. And what I'm learning in the program I'm in right now is that rituals are super important. And so this ritual where he asked everybody to bring something important to them, and then they put it in that barrel and they burned it outside, and Roy brought his blankie and all of that. But getting everyone to buy into these rituals, that brings everybody together to work together, then certainly we can do more together than apart. I know from my own experience how much it means to me to have friends and coworkers who believe in me and even students who believe in me. And I hope that I can return that favor and believe in those students and in my coworkers and friends, and we can work together to bring about these miracles. I mean, miracles are going to use some energy that is higher than us, and we're a part of something bigger than us when we tap into this thing that we feel we want to do in our hearts. And when you get all those hearts linked together, makes a huge difference. Related research. Here we go. Believing you can. According to the Handbook of Positive Psychology, believing you can determines how much you persevere in the face of challenges. So I'm going to add making sure you're on purpose. If I'm going down a road that's not really the right road for me and I run across this big boulder, then I'm going to turn around and leave. If I'm going down a road I feel really is my soul's purpose, then I'm going to try to figure out a way to get around or over that boulder or to dissolve it or whatever. Um, life's not necessarily going to just become hunky dory when we get on path. I do think that doors open more when we are, and I've had that experience. But just believing that you can, and it, the little engine that could, just having that belief can make you persevere. Because if you don't believe it, and again, that's just really kind of a choice. It's a choice to look at myself and to say, well, I like this, I love this, and I'm pretty good at this, that, and the other, and I'm going to put those things together. And I really think I could do this. You know, if that I think I can turns into a belief that I can, and the way that that happens is just step by step. Right, I've got this big mountain in front of me, and I'm going to take this first step. I'm going to get a little higher. I'm going to take this next step and get a little higher, and then when I'm halfway up, please don't look down. Because I'm not gonna come back down. I got to keep going. So There's always going to be fear, and there's always going to be the resistance that we talked about. But just that attitude of belief makes a huge difference. People believing in you, you believing in other people, coming together to make these miracles happen. My experience, students get what they expect. Students get what they expect to get. Um, and this is kind of, if you sit back and watch this, like I have, it's almost funny. And I hate to laugh, but I'm just saying that there are certain students that approach. I have an assignment where I have students look for jobs in the field, online. And there are certain students who are really enjoying the course content and really thinking they want to do this when they graduate, and they look for those jobs and wow, I'm so excited. All of these jobs, they look great. And I found so many in my area, and I'm going to apply for those internships that popped up too. And, they kind of had this expectation that it was going to be wonderful. And so it was. And then there's another group that maybe they don't really love the content, and maybe they don't really think they want to do that when they grow up. then and they look for jobs and they find nothing, or they don't like what they find, or boy, it doesn't pay very much, or it wasn't anything in my area, right? And it could be the same area, and different people are finding different things because of what they expected to find. And that's okay, because if nothing else, it reveals what that person's not supposed to do, or that what that other person is supposed to do. And then there's a middle group where they didn't really know what to expect, but they kept an open mind about it, and we'll talk about that too. And they were intrigued by what they found. It was surprising, and now they're into it, or whatever. Um, and so that, I think that's just there's the closed minded group that doesn't find it. There's the open minded group that does. There's the open minded, excited group that really does. And you can see those, different types of students in your classroom. All right. So, module 3, we're going to talk about kindness. And, uh, but before we do that, I want to let you know there's some activities and some reflections and things you can do in this course about hope, about changing attitude, about the attitude of gratitude, and all the things that we can do um, to believe.